News Central now takes off in West Africa, where the suspended governor of Nigeria's central bank, Godwin Emefiele, will be rearraigned at the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja today. Now recall that on Thursday, August the 17th, the embattled former Apex Bank chief was brought to court by the Department of State Services. However, the case could not hold, but was adjourned due to the absence of the second defendant. Emefiele would be standing trial over an alleged 6.9 billion naira procurement fraud, a case that has sparked nationwide controversy. Now, to discuss this, we of course have a lawyer right now on standby, Nekabari, Annah, to actually give us to put some context to this particular scenario. Thank you so much for your time, Annah. All right, so let's get straight to it. Now, let's look at the legality around his arrest. Talking about the embattled CBN governor, would you say the DSS and other bodies involved have actually followed due process? And of course, would you also look at issues of abuse of power in this context?
I will say that they have absolutely not followed due process. It is not just an abuse, it's an embarrassment to the judicial system of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's an absolute abuse, absolute abuse. There is no better name to call it than to say it's an abuse. Abuse of power, abuse of due process, abuse of our judicial system.
Now, what does this actually portend for the judiciary? Because also some have said that this is not the first time we have seen issues of contempt, of court orders, where court orders are given and it's really not, adhered to. And also, I mean, looking at it, within the context of judiciary, what does this say about the system itself?
The situation is grave. The situation is also gloom. I say grave and gloom because this administration is an administration that right from 1999, when they were in the opposition, they told Nigerians, they characterized themselves as the progressive, the party of the rule of law, the party of constitutionality, the party of the people, the party of due process. But they are just a few months in power. And what are we seeing? We are seeing what is going to be worse than the PDP administration. The question is this: if the court has granted a man bail, no matter your hatred for the man, no matter what you think the man has done for you, all you need to do is first and foremost obey the order of the court and grant him bail. But they decided not to. They decided to fight it. And the show of shame you saw at the Federal High Court, Ikoyi, where officers of the correctional facility were fighting with officers of the DSS, and were eventually overpowered by officers of the DSS. I was just afraid if the officers of the correctional facilities stood their ground, maybe there would have been a shootout and somebody would have died or somebody would have been injured. Why? Because the government is refusing to obey the order of courts. This is a so-called progressive government. If you grant Emefiele bail, nothing stops Emefiele from coming to stand his trial. But you've made up your mind to ensure that the man will not have a minute of reprise. Our legal system has been designed in such a way that there is a presumption of innocence. But in the mind of the government of Nigeria, Emefiele is already guilty. I'm not holding brief for Emefiele. Emefiele has a series of bright legal minds like Chief Emeka Ozwani, senior advocate of Nigeria. But the point is, let us obey the law. In fact, the Supreme Court have said over time that where a party to a suit refuses to obey the order of the court, that party should not be seen to benefit. In fact, as a matter of fact, the court today is not even supposed to entertain the suit of the federal government of Nigeria until they first and foremost obey the order of the court granting Emefiele bail. It is instructive to note that this is an opportunity for the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Chief Lateef Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, to show which direction he wants to lead the judiciary into. Are we going to go back 50 years? Are we going to experience some things that will gladden the minds of lawyers? ordinary Nigerians and the international community that Nigeria is ready to obey the rule of law and to set ourselves on a trajectory of serious-minded nations. Chief Lateef Fagbemi is going to show us today.
All right. Now, talking about the outcomes today, what do you see eventually panning out?
I believe the court will again grant Emefiele bail. And it will be another opportunity for the government to show whether they want to obey the order of court or they do not want to obey the order of court. The court will likely grant Emefiele bail, and I see a situation where the government will look for another 50-count charge to throw in as a reason why he shouldn't be granted bail. No matter the case, I urge the government of Nigeria, now that we have a minister, an erudite legal practitioner, a man of distinction, Chief Lateef Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, I expect that he will advise the executive arm that he now belongs to that it does not tell well of our judiciary. It does not tell well of the current administration for them to refuse to obey the orders of court. Like I said, they have an opportunity today to show us whether they are actually progressives or whether they are actually retrogressives.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Annah, for your time.